It feels great to be 1-0, and that's what
yeah.
the Dallas Mavericks are here on the 2023-2024 season. Welcome into Mavericks Day. It is Harrison Graham, Jeffrey Cooperstein coming off a fun, exciting win in San Antonio on opening night. If you missed our watch party, you missed out because Coop and I were going nuts. We were having a good time, and the story of the night, Coop, sure, Luka Doncic's 30-point triple-double was something special, but Dereck Lively, I mean, we put out a video last night. Go check it out if you haven't already. Dereck Lively, if you missed it, legitimately outplayed Victor Wembanyama in each of their first NBA games as a pro. Truly something special to see.
He was awesome, man. I mean, I was talking to my dad after the game, and we were both like, yeah, we thought he'd be pretty good. We didn't think he'd be great. And he was great last night. I mean, he was everything as advertised and then some. He was the guy who kind of set the tone as far as the hustle aspect of the game goes. He was the energy. He was the guy grabbing rebounds from the big man spot. He was the guy Luka really had good chemistry with pick and rolls. Lively was just fantastic last night, and I frankly think it's a crime he didn't start this game.
Yeah, and look, I mean, we'll look ahead to the tomorrow's game in just a second. I think he'll be starting that one. But I think what impressed me most, Coop, is not that he played well. I mean, guys can play well. Like, you're in the NBA for a reason. But, like, there was really never a single moment where I was like, oh, there's he looks like a rookie who's never done this before.
Yeah, for sure.
There were a couple mislaps, like he got beat on a backdoor alley-oop once where he kind of got caught in between. Like, those things are going to happen, but he never looked lost out there. Wemby looked lost a couple times, like where he didn't really know where to go. Now, look, I'm not saying Lively's going to be a better pro than Wemby. Like,
we're not saying that,
but for one night he was, and more importantly for the Mavericks, Coop, his style of play, his ability to roll and finish around the rim, those alley-oops, and even a couple of nice layups. He had the nice reverse layup. Remember that?
Yeah, went up and under, got a nice little finish.
Had some real English on it. Like, he's got some skill, man. Like, I thought the offensive game would be far less polished. I'm not saying it's a final product, but, I mean, if you told me he would not just put up the stat sheet, like, take the stats out of it, like, the eye test tells me, Coop, this kid can play.
He completely passed it, man, and kudos to the Mavs front office for hitting on this eval, honestly, because they were really zeroed in on Dereck Lively throughout the entire draft process, and they even traded back to get him, which in turn landed them Omax Prosper as well. Omax didn't make his debut, but if you told me that you were getting this out of Lively for the first game, I would have been absolutely. I mean, I think there were times where he was legitimately the second best player on the court.
Oh, I think there were times he was the best player on the court.
I mean,
he was terrific.
For what you got out of him in game one, I think it sets it up for game two. There is no chance Maxi Kleber starts this basketball game against the Brooklyn Nets. You're going to see Lively out there. Dereck Jones, I still think, is going to end up starting just because of the way that the rotation works out. They like Josh Green coming off the bench, but Dereck Lively is your starting center for, at minimum, the next 5 years, hopefully the next 10.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fantastic. And look, like, there were frustrating Kleber moments, but he wasn't completely awful. The bottom line is, though, he can't play 30 minutes a game. Like, Ideally,
you can't ask him to do too much.
Lively is 30 minutes, Kleber's, 15 or so, and you're probably playing small ball for 5 minutes or so.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what you need.
Maybe Dwight Powell at some point earns, 5 to 8 minutes per game here. Like, who knows? But to me, like, Lively, it may not be 30 plus a night, but he's 25 plus minutes a night. Like,
absolutely,
he's going to play a lot, and I'm excited. And there's going to be lumps. There's going to be moments where, he probably hits a bit of a rookie wall, but he's clearly the best big you have one game in. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So I expect him to start against Brooklyn tomorrow night. And the thing I'm most eager to watch, Coop, is can he do it again? I mean, can he have a big impact two games in a row?
Yeah, another matchup against Nic Claxton, a very good center in this league. So we'll see how Lively fares. But if you're excited that the Mavs are 1-0, baby, spam those MFFLs. This team hasn't been very good in season openers as of late, and they haven't started out seasons in general well. So it's a very good sign that this team is starting out on the winning note.
Yeah, and I think what was exciting, too, about that first game, Coop, is they responded after getting hit in the mouth. I mean, they gave up 43 points in that first quarter against San Antonio, and you and I are sitting there on our live watch party. We're like, well, they can score, but they can't defend. Feels like last year. And to Jason Kidd's credit, to this team's credit, they locked in. I mean, they gave up 76 the rest of the way. That's just a hair over 25 a quarter. If you're giving up 25 points a quarter, you're going to win a lot of games because the average NBA offense scores about 110 points per game. So if you're holding teams to 105 or less, you're going to win a lot. So Kudos to the Mavs. Obviously, they gave up 119. You can't get rid of the 43-point quarter. But for 3/4 of the game, and that's what Luka said after the game.
They played good defense.
They played good defense.
They did.
And that's a step in the right direction after a really ugly opening 12 minutes on that side of the floor. More to discuss about this basketball team in just a moment. But, hey, you want to make Friday night even more fun with the Mavs? Play the Brooklyn Nets or perhaps Thursday Night Football tonight or NFL Sunday? Prize Picks, Daily Fantasy Sports, the best DFS app out there because it's daily fantasy made easy. Why, Harrison? Well, because it works like this. You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they will go for more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you can win anywhere from 3 times your money if it's a 2-player entry, up to 25 times your money if you hit on a 6-player entry. I got a 3-player entry for NFL Week here in Week 8. Raiders are struggling. Josh Jacobs is struggling. I don't think he finds the end zone, so I'm taking less than half a touchdown there. Jared Goff, I think the Lions bounce back this week. Give me the more on his passing yards this week. And then he's going to sync up with his buddy Amon-Ra St. Brown quite a bit. One of the better receivers in the NFL. $10 to win 50. Pick 3 entry there is 5 times your money. So if you put in 20, you can win 100. Put in 10, you can win 50, etc. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100 when you sign up. Prize Picks. Check the comments. Check the description. All right, just looking back at this game a little bit more last night, Coop. I mean, Luka was Luka. I mean, he
was awesome, man.
30-point triple-double, 3rd player in NBA history to have that in a season opener. Oscar Robertson, Giannis, only other 2 players.
Real quick.
He was unreal, man.
This was Luka's 57th career triple-double. If you would have asked me, I thought the number would have been a lot more than 57.
Dude, I didn't realize this. His final 40 games last year, he didn't have one.
Yeah, so I mean,
I think that goes to show he did not trust a lot of the role players last year. And they just didn't make shots.
The expectations that we have for him are so astronomical that me and you were talking. He played a B- game last night, and these are his numbers? Like, are you joking?
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 of 11 from 3. I mean, he jacked up too many of those. He hit the big one late, obviously, but that's just how special he is.
The guy's incredible, man, and his counterpart, Kyrie Irving, wasn't great throughout the game, but was pretty damn good in the 4th quarter.
10 points in the 4th, hit a critical corner 3. The only 3 he hit all night. I think it was 1 of 8 from deep, but the one he made was big. And you know he's not going to have 2 clunkers in a row from the perimeter, so I expect, I would not be shocked at all if he led the team in scoring on Friday
Wouldn't
night.
shock me one bit. Then one more player before we get to tomorrow night's matchup. Grant Williams, a very solid debut for the Mavericks. Not the least of which was his main job was guarding Victor Wembanyama when he was out there. Did a great job in the post.
He frustrated Wemby.
No doubt.
They didn't try to post him up much, but when they did, he just couldn't get to spots, wasn't comfortable with Grant Williams. Physical player. Obviously, he's going to give up length there, but he can make up for that with, kind of his girth, if you will. 4 of 8 from 3, too. I mean, I don't expect him to be a 50% three-point shooter.
And a couple of threes he hesitated to shoot as well. He was wide open. He hesitated. He still made them. But, yeah, I think Grant Williams fits like a glove in this team.
Yeah, if you're Luka and you're Kyrie after the game, you're watching the film of when he hesitated. It's like, dude, you got the green light.
Yeah.
That's your job offensively. Occasionally you might have an ISO situation. There was a couple where he went baseline and scored. Cool, but, open from 3, pull the trigger.
Shoot the ball,
that's what your job to do is offensively there, and then be a grinder on defense. Home opener should be exciting. You going to be out there?
I will not be out there. I will be here doing a Knicks watch party, but that's okay.
You also want to watch the Rangers?
Yes, game 1 of the World Series tomorrow night. Go Rangers! Homecoming for Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie. Should be pretty fun to welcome those guys back to the arena.
It's a 2-screen night, man. You got
no doubt.
You got the Rangers on one. You got the Mavs on the other. Nets in town should be exciting. Good to see Dodo and the boys. So
Mavs 5-point favorites here. So hopefully they get this win and then they end up going 2-0 for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could. This is a game you should probably win at home. Brooklyn played well against the Cavs, lost by 1 point, but if you could get out to 2-0 start, I mean, we talked about it all offseason. Got to start well. Got to start well.
You win these 2 games, then you have Memphis on the road, and no Ja Morant, obviously, or Steven Adams. Then following that, you have the Chicago Bulls, who got smoked in their opening night.
Who do you think guards Mikal Bridges? I think it's a combination.
I bet it's Grant Williams.
Grant Williams, some. Dereck Jones might get a few minutes on him. Maybe Josh Green occasionally.
That would be my guess. I think they want to put Grant Williams on the other team's most skillful offensive player, and I think so.
Yeah,
I think
at least in most situations. All right, should be a fun game at the AAC tomorrow night. Fun start to the season for the Dallas Mavericks. He's Jeffrey Cooperstein. I'm Harrison Graham. Again, if you're fired up, get the MFFLs going. We'll see you guys soon
See you guys
here at Mavericks Today.